Hello, and welcome to another preview of the Catersource and Special Events Show 2025. I'm Laura Schwartz of Laura Schwartz Live. In 24, I had the honor of delivering a keynote at the show in Austin. Now, this time around, I've got the thrill of bringing you a preview of great speakers that you can learn from and meet at the show. Catersource and the Special Events Show is coming up in just a few weeks, February 24 to 27 in Fort Lauderdale. Now, today, I have the great honor of interviewing the 2025 Special Events Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. It's Scott Frankel of Animatic Media. I have to say, Scott is as personable as he is professional. For over 30 years, he has been producing events and speaking on stages to offer insight and great advice as to how we can all raise the bar in our specialties among this incredible community as a whole. Now, Animatic Media, it's a full-service event production company Scott founded, and he founded it with the idea of offering agency-style service without the agency price tag. Now, since 1996, Scott and his wonderful team have produced events for clients of all sizes, from Fortune 500 conferences with thousands of attendees to smaller road shows and different events. Scott himself, well, he's an innovator in the event technology space and always insists on perfection and flawless execution for all of his events. So get ready and join me in welcoming the legend, Scott Frankel. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Laura. Happy to be here.
Well, Scott, we are just thrilled to have you with us. You are receiving the 2025 Special Event Lifetime Achievement Award, of which you are way too young to be talking lifetime achievement, because I know there's a whole lot of life in you. I've had the pleasure of working with Scott. For everybody watching out there, he is a consummate professional that you can actively learn from while you're working with. And Scott, I just want to thank you for that, because you really teach others while you're just doing your craft.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. You know, I love working with professionals like yourself as well. It just makes the collaborative effort that much easier and more successful.
Well, thank you, Scott. And for everybody watching, we just wanted to spend a few moments really talking about Scott's career in a way that it's relevant and relatable to all of you, so that we can pick up some great tips and tools that we can use in our own careers and in this incredible industry. So to kick off with that, Scott, like I said, you started just about 30 years ago. You're nowhere near finished. But share with us how you got into this industry to begin with.
Sure. It's actually kind of crazy, Laura, because 30 years ago, like so many other people, I was computer illiterate, and I saw the way that life was going in business, and I just got a job with a company that I knew I'd have to learn computers and technology, and that was a company making old 35 millimeter slides, right? And one thing led to another, and as technology progressed, and you know, LED projectors came and video production, and I just learned. I loved what we were doing, and I just learned the craft a little bit, you know, more each day, each week, and slowly just, you know, built this company around that.
When was it that you knew you were ready to create Animatic Media?
It was probably about 2 years into the industry, quite frankly, because I was working for a company that was really good, but again, they started off doing 35 millimeter slides. And as we started building our clientele and loyalty, you know, we were figuring out how to do the live event production and the audio visual and this scenic and staging and video production. And after about 2 years of really figuring it out for the company I was with, they didn't have much of a desire to stay in that industry, and I was fortunate enough that I had built a client or two that were really happy with what we had been producing for them and had promised me a couple of projects, knowing that I was looking for a bigger, better opportunity. And I started Animatic, and knock on wood, I never had to look back.
Well, with Animatic, you really are doing it all when it comes to live event production. So share with us what you provide to your clients? Because I know you've got just, very large stage productions. You can do more intimate venues as well. But it would be nice to know your range of production and how you've evolved, because set design, everything has changed so much over the years.
Well, it really does run the gamut, Laura. I mean, we do conferences and road shows, and we do large-scale conferences with, 6, 8, 10,000 people in the audience and everything in between. But, we like offering for our clients the best solution for what they're doing. And one of my personal efforts is always to make sure we give the clients as much as we can, bang for the buck. So when we look at a project, an event, we're not just there taking orders, providing audio-visual screens, projectors, but we'll try to tie in the creative into their theme. If it's a company who's maybe they've been struggling for whatever reasons in their industry, but now they need to make a statement at their conference or a new product launch, we will go out of our way to try to be creative and give them a real sizzle at that event so they can make a statement there. I just love being able to fulfill those things for our clients.
Well, and Scott, it really shows. And what I think is really a neat nugget that you just shared with us is that a lot of clients out there, I mean, me from the speaking perspective, you from the production perspective, a photographer in special events watching this, or a catering executive in special events watching this, it really is bringing ideas to the table that are fresh to them, something that really gives them that newborn energy. Because you're right, sometimes you're working with a client that's struggling and needs to reshape their message, and we do that both by content and delivery of the overall visual. And so I think it's really neat that you bring back. I have to ask you, that must kind of, and I don't want to assume, but I bet that brings you a lot of drive, because like I said, you're nowhere near done. I'd love to know what keeps you in this driving forward kind of driver's seat that you've got in this industry.
Well, I think what does it, I call it one of the challenges. I've been fortunate enough to have clients that are repeat clients, and it's repeat events. So it's what I call the Houdini syndrome. And always having to try to outdo ourselves on the same event maybe for the next year. So we look at it each year as a blank canvas, and what could we do? Can we use technology in a different way than it was even intended to be used? And the reason we do that is so when you come into one of our clients' general sessions, we're hoping not only does it look aesthetically beautiful, but is there something different about it? And you could see that on the attendees' faces a lot of times. They don't even realize why they're enjoying it, but it could be the way that we're using technology or the creative we're putting up on the screens. And that does drive us to just, what could we do? What could we do that hasn't been done in a general session room? What could we do that you see on a halftime show, at a Super Bowl, that how do we put that in a general session at a modest budget? And we love being creative that way.
I think it's really special because it takes it to that next level, and you're always on the lookout. So I'd love to find out from you, where do you find inspiration?
Well, aside from going to a lot of industry events, right, and seeing things, and television, I've been told I am a nightmare to go to a concert with, because I'm going there, I'm looking at the production, the stage, the lights. How did they do that? Can I steal an idea that was a large stage thing and figure out how to replicate it at an affordable budget? And we just, love doing that. So, we sit here in think tank sessions when we have a new event, trying to come up with new things that we could do. So I expose myself to as many industry events as I can. And I challenge, this is something I always tell people new in the industry, challenge your partners, your vendors, the people that you know and trust. Ask them, what have they seen that's cool? What have they always wanted to do, but not been able to do for budget purposes? Maybe there's a way we could do those things, and then everybody on the team is more motivated to make that happen.
And you've really built a team, Scott, of all ages. So you're really able to get some unique ideas because everybody's out, whether it's a concert or movie and in the field, looking at things differently. And I think that's something we can all do, whether we have a staff and a team like you do that you repeatedly use both in-house and hire on as freelancers for shows, or if you're a party of one or two. You know, we all have what I like to call the kitchen cabinet, our unofficial advisors, and everybody's got an opinion and idea. It's sometimes nice to stop to think about it for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when we have new people on staff, and the first time that they're in these training meetings or planning meetings, I should say, you know, they don't speak up all the time. And I will put them on the spot and remind them there's no bad ideas because they may not even know what they're talking about, right? They may come up with these crazy ideas that are technically impossible. But what I tell them is the first time they say something, they may drop a little nugget in there and they didn't even intend to. And the team will take that and run with it. And then when we're on site and they see their idea in some manner, shape, or form up on the screen or being executed in entertainment or whatever, now they're invested. Now they get the taste of that and they want to, you know, now they want to really plan and speak up next time more, because they realize they could have as much influence over the events as anybody else that's been in the industry longer than they have.
And when it comes to the industry, I'd really love to just end on the fact that you not only take advice from a lot of folks and encourage people to speak up, but you speak out and you're on incredible panels and incredible keynotes within the events industry where people can come and they can see you and learn from you. And not just that you're back behind stage, but you're on stage sharing all of that great wealth of knowledge. I always say, you know, when we share, we empower. And Scott, you empower this industry. So thank you so much for spending time attending conferences and actually being actively involved within them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? I see myself almost as an evangelist for the industry and for young people who learn from my mistakes. I've made mistakes, trust me. You know, so learn from the mistakes, learn how to handle the stress, talk to people in the industry, and that's what I try to convey, you know, when I am up on stage speaking.
Well, for everybody attending the special event, and if you don't have your tickets yet, you can still register today. They will have a chance to see you at the gala, to not just offer their congratulations, but Scott, I just want to not only say congratulations, but a big thank you on behalf of the industry for being so involved within it, for giving back to it, and for helping us all to find a renewed spirit and energy always. So, Scott, congratulations, and we'll see you there.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. And thank you for being a spark in this industry as well, shedding so much light on things. I appreciate you as well.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Scott. And to all of you, it's not too late to register. So head on over to the website, sign up today so that you can congratulate Scott and we can all see you in Fort Lauderdale.